Welcome to Out of Continues, episode 164, a weekly podcast posted up every Monday on outofcontinues.com as an MP3, or a few days before that on youtube.com/outofcontinues as a video with full video motion and full living color. And
Non-Technicolor?
sure.
Oh.
We talk about video games and related topics on this show. I am your host, Stafa. I have different guest hosts on the show with me each week. Most of the time, I have a guy named Kevin on the show with me.
Hi.
And this week, I have a new guest on the show. We have Demetrius.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Demetrius?
I'm good. How about yourself?
All right. Demetrius is representing the average working man.
So not average. I'm so not the average working
The
man.
average working man. Because he has a job.
Fair enough.
So, anyways, this week's episode segments will include the rapid fire interview questions for Demetrius, because every time we have a new person on the show, they get hit by the rapid fire combo.
Wing Chun over here.
And then after that, we're going to have a discussion. What have we been playing? Then we got some quick announcements. Our main topic will be our most anticipated games of 2015. And then we're going to wrap things up with a couple of news topics. And that's it. So let's get going. Rapid fire interview questions. Just to remind the listeners what this is, because we don't have the rapid fire interview questions each week. They are 5 questions I ask to each new guest. The listeners, if you want to answer these questions yourself, you can write into podcast@outofcontinues.com and send us your answers. We will read them on the show, just like Calvin did several months ago when he asked if he wanted, if he can answer the questions. And I said, go ahead. So, listeners, if you want to answer them as well, go ahead. But today we're talking about Demetrius. We're going to introduce him to the world with these questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Question number 1. What's your all-time favorite console?
I got to say the Xbox One right now.
Xbox One is your all-time favorite?
That's what it's seeming to be so far.
All right.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
All right. You're McDonald's then. You're loving it.
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Is that copywritten? Can I say that?
I guess.
I don't know. I think that's copywritten, man.
Question number 2. Name 3 of your favorite franchises.
Okay, so that's easily going to be the Mass Effect franchise, excluding the third one. I'm going to say
Kevin doesn't agree.
I don't love the third one. The first one's my favorite.
Hey, these are his questions.
I know. I'm just had to clarify that.
Which one's your favorite?
The first one's my favorite.
He thinks 3 is better than 2 though.
Really?
I'll let you answer your question.
two more favorite franchises.
All right, so I'm definitely have to go with Assassin's Creed. It's up to the,
Revelations.
Black Flag. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, anything before Black Flag that completely and totally liked all story. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was against that, but everything before that point I'm all about,
All right, one more franchise.
One more franchise, man. It's got to be the Batman franchise. Arkham City, Arkham Asylum.
It's the Bats.
But yeah, man.
Your mama's not gonna recognize you when I'm done with you, Batman.
I'll tell you what, that was some of the best Joker voice acting ever.
Mark Hamill's the best.
Definitely.
Hey, Troy Baker.
Yeah, he did it. He
He
did a good.
he emulated Mark Hamill's pretty well.
I had no idea Mark Hamill was that guy and the one who did the voice until you told me about it. Honestly, I had no idea for the longest.
Yeah, he's my favorite Joker voice back to the days of the cartoons.
He's my favorite
Definitely.
Luke Skywalker voice back until the cartoons. Okay. Question number 3. If you can have lunch with anyone in the video game industry, who would it be? I don't
Easy.
count because you already had lunch with me.
Man, I mean, honestly, if you can't be my first pick, I don't really want to answer the question because I think that you are, a genius in that industry.
Oh, I
but
thank you.
you're welcome.
I'm flattered and humbled.
I don't know about the humble part, but I forgot to say, forgive me if I butcher his name, but Yu Suzuki, the creator of Shenmue.
Shenmue, yes.
And I would love to know, what was this? How was it going to end? I would love to talk to him about that and just pick his brain about it, because that's what made me a gamer. Was that game?
Nice. 4th question. What's one problem with the video game industry today?
I think it's going back to the net quality, going back to the, I'm just going to pump out as many games as I can, and get as much money as I can rather than worrying about quality.
Mhm.
I think we're
Annualization and milking franchises.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going into. They're going back pretty soon. We're going to have another ET game. That's what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that pretty much already came out last year. That was the Rambo game.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It came out, and it was supposed to pretty much take place during all 3 Rambo movies, or the first 3 Rambo movies, and it was pretty much like House of the Dead. Except you can't use a light gun. It was all with controller or mouse and keyboard. It was pretty terrible. And then everyone forgot about it the next week. Anyways, the final question. One reason why you game?
One reason why I game, man, honestly, because I want to jump off of buildings into haystacks without hurting myself, things like that. Honestly, I just want to be able to lose myself in a different world. It's the same as reading a book for me. You know what I mean? The same reason I read books, same reason I play video games.
All right. Well, those are the 5 rapid fire interview questions. You passed with flying colors. Thank you for answering them, Demetrius.
Thank you for giving them to me.
How do you feel now that you've accomplished that in your life?
Man, I'm just grateful, to dodged all fire, and that didn't inflicted any wounds. I'm good. I'm just grateful right now,
You're the real MVP. All right. So now that we've introduced Demetrius to the show, and the listeners have an idea of his gaming interests, let's go talk about what have we been playing. And Kevin,
Yes.
since you haven't said much on the show yet,
Mm-hmm.
how about we talk about what you've been playing?
Sounds good. I've been playing a game called Endless Legend. It's a 4X strategy game that's very similar in style to Civilization,
Mm-hmm.
but it's made by Amplitude Studios, or the people who made Endless Space and Dungeons of the Endless right now. All their games are kind of in the same universe. It's like this
They're all endless.
endless lore,
I bet there is an end somewhere.
I guess. I mean, all of their games so far are...
I'll find an end.
all their games that they have so far are one of those types of games that just never end.
Don't give me those shenanigans.
They don't have a linear story that you follow. They're
I'll
just...
find an ending. That credit sequence is gonna roll eventually.
Yeah, if you push the credits button.
Found it. There's an
If you
end.
go in the options and click credits, that's the only way you can see the credits.
Told you, man. Told you.
But that's
Found
not
the
the
ending.
end. That's just you looking at the credits. You didn't reach the end.
So, anyways, let's talk about the game real quick.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, it's in that same universe as all the other games. It's like this sci-fi mixed with fantasy style. It's pretty cool. But one of the things that I like about it is, well, actually, there's a lot of things that I like about it. I've always wanted to get into Civilization style strategy games, but for some reason, Civilization just never did it for me. It never stuck with me. I could never get hooked on them. I know a lot of people. I have a couple friends who actually have like 600 hours in Civ 5 and more in the other games. But I've tried playing it. I just never could get into it. I really don't know exactly what it is about those games that I just can't get into. But Endless Legend actually does a cool mash of a few genres. So you've got your standard Civilization strategy where you've got the overview of the map and you're trying to take over other cities or different depending on what the goals of the game mode are. But on top of that, there's like a questing system where you actually can get quests and from other factions and other civilizations, and you also have like a pretty cool leveling system as well. And so it almost takes some and puts them together because there's actually an XCOM style combat as well.
Okay.
So in Civilization, when you get into combat, you literally just like click on your army, click on the enemies, and then it just auto does the calculations, and it's like, okay, here's the result.
Yeah.
You can do that in Endless Legend. You can tell it to automatically do all those. Or you can go into manual combat and you can actually control it like XCOM. So you have control of each of your units and you can kind of tell them where to go and who to attack. And so you've got that level of control over your armies. And on top of that, you still got like heroes that are your generals for your armies, and they can be leveled up and they have their own skill trees, and you can customize the armor and the weapons of each of your units as well. So there's quite a bit of RPG type depth in there. It's more like XCOM style, where you can control like what armor they're wearing and what weapons they're using, and what specific types of things they'd focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that combination, and then just introducing the questing system into that game is also really cool. And I think I finally found a Civ-like strategy game that I can actually enjoy and get into, and I've been really happy. I've actually bought pretty much everything that this company has made so far, and I really like what they've done. So
you're a corporate shill.
It's marketing. I'm not being paid to say this.
No, you're not being paid. You're paying them to say it.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So Demetrius, what game have you been playing?
Mostly, honestly, it's got to be Shadows of Mordor, and I've been kind of going between that and Black Flag since it was free with my Xbox.
Uh-huh.
So I've been going in between the two of those.
Okay. You gotta talk about one of them?
Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't really going to. No. Shadows of Mordor, man, that has got to be one of the most awesome games I've ever played. Period. I mean, it's just, it keeps me interested.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like I'm one of the owners of Civilization, for example. It couldn't just, played it a couple times, got frustrated with it a couple times, got to that level and just said, okay, I'm done. Haven't opened the box since. Like, I have no idea where it's at in my house right now. Shadows of Mordor, on the other hand, when I get home, that's the first thing that's going to happen. Yeah, man, it's probably one of the coolest games I've ever played. It's real similar to Batman Arkham Asylum. It's like a cross between that and Assassin's Creed almost.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But man, you get to all kind of cool upgrades and all kind of jazz. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than
So
it's awesome,
have you had any crazy shenaniganry with one of your nemesises?
Oh, dude. Oh, man, I forgot. I'm glad you brought that up. So, all right. There was a guy, I kid you not, I kept beating him in fights. I don't know if he was running away or what, but every time I seen him, a first time he came back, he actually got promoted and he had tattoos on his face when he came back. The second time he lost an eye.
Uh-huh.
You know, the third time he only had no. In fact, his whole face was wrapped up. His whole face was wrapped up. He's like, "I'm ready for you now." And that was the coolest thing about that game. Is that I mean, I've been trying to make that happen as much as possible. That had to been the best. Period.
I've had a guy with his face fully wrapped up, and when he came to me, he was like, "Oh, you might not recognize me."
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get you for what you've done.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing. See, at first I didn't really like. I was reading the names. It for whatever reason I was slow to get it because I was just like, "That's the same guy. Didn't I just take this guy out? I don't understand." You know, and same thing. You may not recognize me. I had a couple guys do that, and I was just like, "No, I really don't. I mean, I just been whooping people randomly." You know.
Have you found the epic Uruk named Douche?
No, I don't think I have. There's really
Yeah, one of the names. Well, all of them are randomly generated.
uh-huh.
Like there's so many names, there's so many faces, there's so many body types and
Okay.
skin colors and all that. But one of the names is Douche. It's like D-U with a umlaut, C-H, or
I think
S-H,
it's SH, yeah.
D-U umlaut, S-H, but they pronounce it douche. And if he's a war chief, you know how all the war chiefs have an intro? You know, kind of like a wrestling intro, WWE style. They're like, douche, douche, douche.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No, I don't think I ran into that. So could be because the whole thing I do on that game is I just run around and I just fight random people for no reason.
Mhm.
Like there's no storyline, no nothing. I just want to bang and that's it.
Mhm.
You know, which is weird for me personally because with Grand Theft Auto, that's what everybody does. They just
Yeah.
get around, drive around. I was never that guy. I have to have a mission.
Mhm.
In this game, I'm definitely that guy. Like I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to complete that game because I just keep fighting.
I think
That's exactly the same thing I said last
Yeah.
week.
See, there you go.
I think like if you find a captain or war chief who is a little bit too tough for you to take on,
Mhm.
and they and they have like noticeable features like for example, one that I had a lot of trouble with was this really big dude, fully armored, from head to toe,
Right.
had a giant shield, and had 4 guys always with him with big shields as well. And it took me several tries to beat him. And if you try to do that jump over
Yeah.
move, you can't do it on him.
Right.
So once you start coming across dudes that are a bit too hard and they kill you, I think that's when you're gonna really start noticing them. Like, oh, okay, I definitely remember that guy, and you're gonna start noticing the guys more often once you find some that like actually beat you.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, talking about this makes me want to play the game right now. I just want to throw it out there. Like you have like this whole time after you said I just started like yeah, no. So the crazy thing is I know that everything's supposed to be randomly generated, but I cannot tell you how many of the guys look exactly the same
Mhm.
that I've been running into. Like I swear they look exactly the same down to the weird facial features they give the little the orc guys. You know what I mean?
That is racist, man. That is so racist. Saying that they all look the same.
But they do.
I think you're just racist against Uruks.
I think everybody's racist against Uruks. When I say that. I think you would be too.
That's misunderstood.
Oh, is that what it is? Because eating people, that right there, man, that's a misunderstanding. But no, yeah. So I don't know if it's because that's literally. Oh, I've probably put in 72 hours in that game. And
Oh man.
Wow.
yeah, I kid you not. And it's all been run. Who's that over there? I think I need to fight them.
Mhm.
So I wonder if that's why I'm seeing the same characters.
No,
I don't know,
maybe.
man.
I mean, like if someone gets promoted, they start wearing more armor and stuff like that.
I've noticed that.
So they look more unique compared to the regular dudes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, there were several dudes that like really stood out to me when I was playing. Like there was one dude who was like immune to fire, but like hated explosions, and he had a helmet that had like a flame on top.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
had a cage on the helmet, and there's a flame inside the cage. I guess to prove that he loved fire so much. But like, I mean, you know, just designs like that, you know, those guys stood out to me.
Yeah, actually, there's a guy in mind like that. I don't know if that's just a pre-generated, you know, like captain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely that guy has killed me, I don't know, 3 times maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I typically run when I see him. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, like I have no interest in doing anything else at this point outside of decapitating someone.
Oi!
Yeah.
You're riding on a Karagor! I'm quaking in me boots!
I'm pretty sure you've said that every single time Shadow of Mordor has come up as a topic.
Because that made me feel bad. Like, this guy, I thought I was cool. I thought I was cool coming up to him riding on my Karagor. And then he, like, mocks me. He's like, I'm quaking in my boots! And he's smiling as he says it.
I do like that. Their little personality quirks,
Yeah,
you know, how they
it's-
talk trash. I like that a lot.
Like, this game, it's like if you took wrestling and took out everything. I mean, if you just took out the wrestling part of wrestling and kept everything else.
The trash talk.
Yeah, the promos, the intros.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might as well just give the when the Uruk war chiefs come in, you might as well have pyros going off.
Sparks going off in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I also mentioned I was playing Black Flag. I actually started playing Unity, and I
Black
said
Flag's
no.
better than Unity.
Yes, very much
Yeah,
so.
I already
Yeah.
made note of that last week when you submitted
Okay.
your list.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely like. I don't want to just start bad mouthing Unity. I think
Well,
everybody who has something to say.
everybody has
already
already bad mouthed
at this
Unity.
point,
So,
Ubisoft is just having problems in general.
Yeah.
with everything. So it's not just, Unity, and it's not just a couple of people having issues. It's everything that they're doing right now.
I didn't know it was to that extent.
Yeah, they're doing pretty poorly. Like pretty much, it comes down to releasing games on a yearly basis and trying to force out things as quickly as possible and milking the series. But they also just released like 5 games in 1 month last month. They released Assassin's Creed Unity, Rogue.
2 months ago.
Oh yeah, 2 months ago.
It's January now.
Yeah, that is January. Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2015.
Hey.
Yeah. So they're trying to push out too much. It's everything has bugs. Everything is bad, and it seems like they're just giving up on story in general.
See, that's what I was saying earlier about they're going back to what they did. What was that, like back in the late 80s, early 90s? Was it when that was happening?
With what?
Everybody franchising
with ET.
Yeah, well, not just ET, but games in general. They just
that was in the 80s.
But yeah, so I went ahead and I backed off Unity because I was just like, man, I can't do this. And so Black Flag, though, the game is fun. It reminded me of playing, with the Ezio. It was, overall, man, it was just a good time. The game is really, really, really fun. I'm not compelled to finish it, to get 100% synchronizations or anything like that because of lack of storyline. And I'm only playing it for the fun portion of it. But yeah, man, it's cool. Like, everything about it, the fighting, all that.
All right. So I guess we'll talk about what I've been playing.
Yep.
Tales from the Borderlands. I got that because it finally went on sale.
Yep.
During the the unimpressive Steam sale. Very unimpressive, like very underwhelming. Like,
Which I mean is kind of a good thing because it saves money
yeah, save big money.
at Menards.
Definitely not a Steam. So Tales from the Borderlands. I kind of feel bad talking about this on the show, and I haven't finished the first episode, but I think I'm pretty far. I'm pretty sure I only got like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so left. Because usually those Telltale game episodes are like, you know, an hour and a half long, and I feel like I've been playing this for more than an hour and a half. And I just got to a new, you know how like every segment you get an achievement.
Yeah.
I just finished a segment, got an achievement, so I think I'm in the last segment of the game. And I'm enjoying it so far. It is definitely a Telltale game. Demetrius, I know you haven't played any of the Telltale games yet.
Not at all.
Like Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us. I think you should definitely try those out because you like the conversations of Mass Effect, right?
Definitely.
And I mean, you'd probably agree that their games are pretty much like that part.
Yeah, like
of Mass
majority of Telltale games, like their majority of the design of their games is conversation.
Okay.
And choices that you're making through conversation, kind of like Mass Effect.
Well, I really want to play what was the name of the Wolf
Among Us.
Yeah, I really want to play that. I just haven't gotten around to doing so yet.
That's I think my favorite one so far.
Okay.
And the Game of Thrones one recently came out as well. I haven't tried that yet.
I'm afraid to do that one because of spoilers.
Well,
it takes place between all right, the episode 1, I haven't played it yet, but from what I understand, it takes place sometime within season 3.
Okay.
And the whole game, when it's complete, it's going to take place from that point to season 5, sometime within season 5.
Okay, then I definitely should not play it yet.
Yeah, so I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to get to it after I finish this episode of Borderlands. But I mean, it's definitely the same type of game. It has some of the same humor as Borderlands, but just not quite as much. I don't know if it's just this first episode or what, but they're not throwing the humor at your face as often as Borderlands does. One thing unique about this game compared to the other Telltale games of this style is that you're playing as 2 different characters. In Game of Thrones, I hear that you play 5 characters.
Yeah, I think you play a whole family.
Yeah. But in Borderlands, you're playing as 2 different characters, Fiona and Reese. Reese is a dude from Hyperion. He's a cyborg. He has one thing that's kind of cool is when you go between the 2 characters, the UI slightly changes. You know, the little bar that shrinks during a conversation, like his looks like a kind of like a loading bar kind of, and it shrinks. Hers is like this Wild West little
that's cool
curly thing.
Yeah.
So his UI is more cyber, hers is more Wild West because she's from Pandora, he's from Hyperion, and he's also a cyborg.
Yeah.
He has a robot arm and an eye implant. Speaking of the eye implant, one of his gameplay features is that you can turn that eye implant on, and then it will have some items in the environment that you can scan, and then it will tell you about that item. Sometimes there's something goofy, but most of the stuff, it seems like it's trying to be goofy, but just it's like, okay, that's fine. Fiona, her mechanic is more that she doesn't really have a mechanic. Hers is more the button for the eye implant for Reese. For Fiona, it basically shows how much money she has, and I was able to find some money from one person who died in an alley or was dying in an alley. He got jumped by a couple of psychos. And I just took his money. Like I had the option to either give it back to him or take it.
Oh
Like,
man.
well, he's dying, so. But I was able to use that money. I'm assuming there's probably some other money I was able to find somewhere else that I didn't. But I was able to use that money to buy an item later on that I don't even know if it affected anything.
So there's like it's interesting that they include like it's like a full store type of mechanic.
No,
Or
it was like this guy straight up said, "Hey, I have these 3 items.
Oh, okay.
One of them was $0. The other one was like 65. The other one was like 100,
Okay.
130, something like that."
Yeah.
And I was able to get the one in the middle, the $65 one, because I didn't have enough money for the
Mhm.
third one.
Okay.
So I'm assuming there's money somewhere else that I missed.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that item changed anything or not.
Hmm.
Um,
Maybe handy in the future.
no, she got rid of it later on.
Oh,
She threw it away later, so I don't think it's gonna do anything. I don't know if it changed anything. Maybe it's like one line of dialogue. But you know, you switch between these 2 characters, and so far in this episode, it is them explaining to somebody that they're both tied up by a bandit, and they're explaining what happened. So, like Reese specifically, he will get cut off a few times because, you know, what he's explaining, he'll stick to truth. He'll start exaggerating and make himself like a hero, and then they cut him off. You know, they call him for his BS and cut him off. So, it's Telltale game, and you know, I'm enjoying it so far. So looking forward to the rest.
Sounds cool.
Nice. So let's before we go on to our main topic, we're gonna take a quick break and talk about dreams. Demetrius, do you have any strong dreams that you believe in?